Yeah, it does. I felt that coming today. It felt like a really big game. And I go back to the last time Liverpool won the league, and around this time of the year, they went to Leicester and won 4-0, and it felt really significant. And I do think there will be a frustration in that dressing room when they get in that their score isn't 6 or 7-1 and it's 6-3. And that might actually be a good thing. It's like, yeah, we've had a great result, we're top of the table, but we can't let that happen again, because at one stage we're all sitting here thinking, if Tottenham score here from a corner or something, it goes 5-4. But I thought Liverpool were outstanding. And I think if you're watching your Chelsea or your Arsenal, you look at that, you think, oh, you know, these are going to take some stopping.
Were you entertained, Les?
As a Tottenham fan, no, I wasn't, to be honest. And listen, I know Tottenham, when you look at this Tottenham side, the two main centre-halves and the goalkeeper are missing. But I don't want to take anything away from Liverpool and how well they played. They're absolutely fantastic. And as you said, I'm sitting here watching them live, and I'm thinking, wow, these look like the heir to the throne against some pretenders.
Back into our Premier League studio. What an extraordinary game. Bonkers was the word that I think Joe Spate quite rightly came up with. It was the sort of game, Robbie Earle, where you didn't need so much a match programme as your guide. You needed an abacus.
Calculator, absolutely.
Keep count of the goals.
Strangely enough, 6-3 scoreline is not a surprise with this team. We kind of find out about two teams what we know. Let's look at Liverpool first. I think it's a great coach's result. Why is that? They win, they've had goal scorers, you get 3 points, but there's enough evidence there to say we're not the finished article. There's still work to be done. We've still got to make sure defensively we don't get sloppy, and our concentration's got to be better. So Arne Slot will love that. From Spurs' point of view, we saw the young back four at the start of the game going through their little defensive drills. That back four needed better protection today. I think the manager slightly let them down. They were too exposed, and it could have been 8 or 9 the amount of chances Liverpool had.
But what else could Postecoglou have done? Just to interrupt there, because he's got 10 players out at the moment.
I get that. So you don't get your fullbacks flying forward every time you get the ball. You get 2 midfield players who sit and wide players who at times are going to tuck in and give you structure. You need structure and control in the game, as well as the ability to attack. And I know Ange's going to say that's what he does, and that might be OK, but things could go from bad to worse.
Could this be a watershed moment for Postecoglou to ship 6 at home?
Yeah, I mean, I think there has to be hard conversations. And I say that coming from a player standpoint, where I've had to go into a dressing room and I've had to question the manager. I've had big senior players question the manager because, by the way, when you take 6 at home, it's horrific. Now, you talked about the chairman, and I think there's conversations. I think Ange Postecoglou has to have the right to be able to adapt and be told, we need some adaptation. If he can't do that, okay, then that's a different conversation. But right now, his plan A isn't always working. His plan A is getting him into 11. He has injuries. Every team has injuries, so he can't just go based on that. Sometimes you have to adapt your team.
Yeah, remarkably, they're 11th in the table, but they are the Premier League's top scorers with 39 goals. Now, in terms of scoring goals, few better than Mo Salah. 2 more today, 15 out on his own as the Premier League's top scorer, and now all-time 4th highest scorer, overtaking Billy Liddell with 229 for Liverpool. Let's hear from the great Egyptian goalscorer.
Well, Mo, that feels like a result and a performance that will really make the rest of the league sit up and take notice just how good were Liverpool today.
Well, we were quite good in front, but defensively, I think we need to improve as a team, not just individual. But consider 3 goals is quite hard, and I think Virgil and Ali will speak better than me in that. But yeah, it's quite a good result, and hopefully we just keep going.
Did you always know, coming here with the types of games they've had, particularly recently, that it might be that sort of crazy type of match?
Yeah, I think we expected the way they played, just like they opened the game and they enjoy the football. As you can see, the game is really tough physically and also mentally. You have to be always in the game. So, yeah, I'm glad that we managed to win the game.
Why is it that type of game with them? Is it a lot to do with how they press and try to be aggressive, but it also gives you space the other end?
They have the way they play, that they don't change it much. And it's quite intensity, and you can see City come here struggle. Some other team come here struggling, but I'm glad that we managed to win the game, because they really play a very intense game.
So 2 goals, also an assist. It means you're the first player in Premier League history to get to 10 goals and 10 assists before Christmas. I feel like every time I interview there's some sort of record, but that means something to you?
Of course, I didn't think about it before the game, to be fair, but I'm glad that I've done it a few times. So yeah, it's something make me happy. I'm proud. I'll just keep working hard.
And maybe more important than that, well, actually, definitely more important than that, you're now 4th on the all-time list of Liverpool goal scorers. Now that must mean something.
Of course, it's something great to achieve. It's such a big club like Liverpool. But again, the most important thing is we won the game, and to have that achievement is great.
How high can you get on that list? I had a little look before you walked in. Ian Rush is, I think it's 117 away. I mean, you need to stay a bit longer, to be honest. But
I don't know how he scored that many goals, to be fair. I think the football in that time was quite 7 against 7. It wasn't really 11 against 11, but he's a great legend for the club, and we have a good contact. So whatever I'm going to end my career with, I'm happy about it. So let's see.
I'm just going to ask you this. Is there any update on your situation, Mo?
No.
No, good. Nothing you can say. All right.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Cheers, Mo.
What about Spurs, though, Jermaine? I mean, we can't just keep saying they're the great entertainers. There's got to be some sort of inquest here, hasn't there?
Yeah, at the minute it's just like copy-paste, isn't it? It's like the same thing over and over again. With the ball going forward, of course, Tottenham are going to create a lot of chances. But it's just the same thing, really. Just too easy to play against. You know, just you don't want to concede 6 goals at home. You know, the fans. You know, obviously, the manager come out the other day. You know, are you not entertained? Of course, we're entertained when the team's scoring goals, but at the same time, just where you can't defend like that, especially at home, it's just too easy to play against. You know, I think that Liverpool could have been more. I think that's the thing. You know, they scored 6 goals, could have been more. Yeah, it'd be interesting to hear what the manager says after.
It's on him, isn't it? To be fair, it's on him. He's playing to his principles, which today was crazy, just crazy. The way the high line, the space they left behind. They're not playing with a goalkeeper who's comfortable, that cleaning up behind like Alisson is doing, or like Vicario's been doing. You can't play a system that the players can't play because you have it as a principle. And for that, they conceded 3 on Thursday. They conceded 6 today. It's just crazy. And when we look at the table, they're not on the front page, the first page. They're on the second page. They're there with Manchester United, which we've earlier on today have covered really well. They are in deep crisis. You know, Tottenham are not supposed to be on the second page. They're supposed to be up there trying to win trophies, and they're not. And it's because of the way they play. The players simply can't do that. You look at players like Son. I mean, he's playing in a position he was very, very good at 2 years ago, but he's lost a little bit of pace. Still a fantastic, clever player, but he should be playing in a different position where he can use his cleverness, not where he's supposed to use pace that he hasn't got. And it's just, I mean, today was just weird, but the stubbornness of wanting to play in that way. And they got exactly what they deserved. And it could have been a lot more and a lot worse.
OK, plenty of time to analyse that. Stay with us, all the reaction on the way. But the Premier League weekend has come to a close. Their last weekend before Christmas with 32 goals for you, despite 2 0-0s today. That after the champions losing again at Villa, Forest winning at Brentford, Newcastle with that 4-0 win at Ipswich, all square between West Ham and Brighton, and a 5-star show from Arsenal at Crystal Palace. Everton take the clean sheet and a 0-0 against one of the big boys again. Southampton had their new manager Ivan Juric in the stands watching on as they got their second clean sheet of the season, first away point at Fulham. Wolves, under their new manager Vitor Pereira, getting a winning start away at Leicester by 3-0. Another defeat for Manchester United under Ruben Amorim. Bournemouth back-to-back wins at Old Trafford in the Premier League. And that incredible 9-goal game we've just watched at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, 6 of them for Liverpool. So, in the bottom 3 at Christmas, Southampton, who are 9 from safety. Then come Ipswich. Wolves have nudged their way up to 12 points, just 2 behind Leicester. Manchester United in the bottom half of the Premier League table for the first time in the Premier League era and the first time since 1989. And indeed Spurs, as Peter says on the other page, in the bottom half themselves for the first time at Christmas in 16 years. since a side led by Harry Redknapp was in the bottom half of the table. At the top, for the fourth time in the last 7 seasons, at Christmas, it is Liverpool who lead the way. They've got a 4-point gap. They've got a game in hand as well over Chelsea in second, then Arsenal, Nottingham Forest in the top 4 at Christmas in the Premier League for the first time in 30 years. And Bournemouth have got into the top 5 today with that win at Old Trafford.
Like we've picked up a little bit from where we left off here at Spurs on Thursday night, but Liverpool are serious, and they started the game in serious fashion as well. Jamie, how much does it owe to the quality from Trent Alexander-Arnold?
Absolutely, organised class from Liverpool, organised chaos from Tottenham. I mean, that's the difference. And then you've got a player like Trent that can just put a ball into amazing areas with such ease. You know, he just gets it out of his feet. He's already got a picture. He can see that he's going to make that run, Diaz. He puts it into a perfect area, and it is a fantastic header. From Tottenham's point of view, Salah, who's marking it, has got to stay. He's got to track the run. He doesn't, but a really, really good header. But look at that delivery. We've seen Kevin De Bruyne do that so often. David Beckham throughout the years. It's beautiful. Look at the flight of it. It's just inviting, and good finish.
It felt like the second goal was coming, Jamie, but it just looked so easy. Why?
Yeah, I mean, 2 defenders for Spurs get involved here, and they're not great, either of them. They haven't really got a commanding centre-back there at the back. If that's at the other end, then it's Van Dijk, he's heading that away. But Szoboszlai does well, keeps it alive, and McAllister, you see him make a little run there. You see the bodies Liverpool have in the box. 2 of those midfield players as well. So Szoboszlai does really well, as I said, to keep it alive, and he's just there before the goal. Goalkeeper's too slow to react.
But they get a lifeline, a little bit of a helping hand from Liverpool.
Yeah, they do, and Liverpool would have been so dominant, and just McAllister ball gets rolled into him. He's just a little complacent with his touch there. Rolls on, and Maddison gets this, and then this is a great finish. Nice slot, and then you think to yourself, they've just got themselves back into the game. 41 minutes. Let's keep it tight. Let's keep it tight. Let's make sure we don't give anything away. You know, and this is good play from Kulusevski as well. Just sees the ball going into McAllister, closes him down. Just a bit of a loose touch, really. Maddison picks it up, and like I said, great finish.
So you say keep it tight for the next few minutes?
Yeah, well, that's what you do.
Get to half-time.
You've got a goal out of nothing, really, where you probably didn't deserve it. You get a goal out of nothing.
Dragic sends a centre-back. He's the dominant one in that degree. Either, if you can't win it, just drop off. But you can see that Jed Spence is playing left-back, isn't he? Yeah. So they just end up in a real mess. You've got Archie Gray, everyone.
A 3v2 just before half-time. If Tottenham could have got to half-time at 2-1, it's been a miracle. Because they've been absolutely battered in this first half, and to now find yourselves 2-0 down there is unbelievable.
Was this the point you were making the other night about game state, trying to manage those few minutes?
As soon as it goes 2-1 or a few minutes before half-time, your full-back should not be pressing Trent Alexander-Arnold. Get back, get to half-time, and then sort out whatever needs to be sorted out. Because something does need to be sorted out. Liverpool have absolutely battered Tottenham in the first half.
Isn't it? It's just football intelligence.
Welcome back. 3-1 Liverpool. 3 goals from 13 shots for Liverpool. That's the most in the first half of any game since Arne Slot took charge. And let's be perfectly honest, it could have been more than the 3 goals they have scored, but they got off to that explosive start, Michael. And 10 Premier League games without a goal for Luis Diaz. But if you're a centre-forward, I mean, what kind of delivery is this?
As soon as he gets the ball, your eyes must light up, mustn't they? If I'm honest, he doesn't pick out Luis Diaz in this situation. We just highlight Diaz. He's just running off Saw there. Defender's got to do a lot more. But when he puts his head down, Trent Alexander-Arnold, he's just finding an area. There's 2-3 bodies in there, and he just gets his head down, whips it into the most perfect area with a great pace, great spin on it. And you've just, with that pace on the ball, you've just got to guide it into whatever corner you want. Brilliant header, lovely late run, and what a ball from Trent Alexander-Arnold.
And the celebration wasn't bad either. 2-0. From a goalkeeper's point of view, you're looking for protection. Joe Gomez's pass, first of all, though, takes a lot of people out, doesn't it?
What a fantastic pass. I mean, this is just Liverpool free-flowing, but we talked about Tottenham's defence before the game. 3 guys, the goalkeeper, Van der Ven and Romero, they're missing, and it shows. I mean, they're really not playing well at the back. They're giving space away, and you see how many players Liverpool they have, you know, or stations they have available. And then again, it's a really good cross because it puts everybody under pressure in there. They don't clear it, and then McAllister reads it well. Goalkeeper, I don't think he can do anything, but no. we promised goals. They're there, aren't they?
Liverpool could have scored more up until that point, but then McAllister lost possession and Tottenham got a lifeline.
Yeah, and that's what you want. If you can try and get yourself back into it, but get a goal, and then you go in at half-time, 2-1 is like what you want. Hey, McAllister, I mean, he didn't really look real, and he tries to go for a free kick. But it's a fantastic finish. But you fancy James Maddison in that sort of area. He starts really wide, then he just curls it into the corner. But you see here, he's got options. I think we spoke before about Van Dijk's position there. Could he have come out and engaged? But I think he's worried about Solanke sort of like running through and goal on that. But it's a good finish. And then you're thinking, OK, then if you can try and sort of like get another one or just at least go in at half-time, you're back in it.
But 5 minutes later, Liverpool did it again, and that will be the massive frustration for Tottenham, having got that goal.
It will, but it would have been the opposite. If Liverpool had gone in only 2-1 ahead, they would have been very annoyed with themselves because they basically gave Tottenham that lifeline. I think Liverpool going in 2 goals to the good is probably fair. Mo Salah does really well here. I mean, again, Tottenham cause their own problems. One little flick on and all of a sudden they're 4 against 3. Liverpool 4 players against 3 here of Tottenham. And the good thing about Liverpool, you're a Liverpool fan, that is, their decision making. How many times do you see teams doing that? We covered Manchester United game only an hour or 2 ago. The decisions that they make in this type of situation. But Mo Salah with a little reverse pass, lovely first touch, cuts across his man, so takes another player out the game, and then Szoboszlai's just got a one-on-one finish. Decision making, that's what gives you the better chance to score. Make an average pass or the wrong pass, you lessen your chances of scoring. Liverpool maximise their chances every time they go through on goal, and that's the key.
But just a word on Tottenham's back line as Liverpool attacked there.
Yeah, but I mean, you should know that. You spoke about maximising and taking advantage of any mistake. You do these things in training at 3v2s, 4v2s, and you like to think that if you get these chances, top players, they'll punish you. But then there's no structure without the ball. Like, it's one flick on, and all of a sudden you said 3v2. I thought, in fact, I mean, the third player is obviously the goalkeeper. It's like there's 2 defenders and 4 players. But it's too easy.
If you play that high up the pitch, you've got to be smart. You've got to be clever about it. So when Raguzin goes for the header, he must be absolutely sure to win it. He doesn't, he's nowhere near winning it. That means it takes him out of the game, so that's one of the centre-halves, and then it leaves Liverpool with 4 against 2. That is a big mistake by him. He should have just dropped off, read the situation, and say, I'm not going to win that, drop off, and then, let him have the ball. It's still only on the halfway line, but with that action, and it goes back to, being clever and reading the game, with that action, he's actually putting his team on the back foot there. And he was so far from getting back home again and helping out. So they've got to be more clever